Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger, and this is After Immortal Episode 9, KJ Enterprises. This video will focus on Karen Jarret and her future in TNA after Immortal. As always, the premise of the After Immortal videos is that I believe that the pay-per-view, the event where the Immortal storyline finally comes to a close and Immortal is defeated and vanquished and Dixie Carter's back in control in TNA, that on that pay-per-view, all feuds that are currently going on in TNA need to come to a conclusion. It needs to be a pay-per-view of finality. And that they need to be ready with all new storylines and feuds starting on the very next Impact. And this series of videos are just some that I thought of that I would like to see. And these videos are all basically me doing some fantasy booking, so I need to once again give my disclaimer. I am in no way saying that I can write or book wrestling better than the writers or bookers of any wrestling organization. These opinions are mine and mine alone, and only represent something that I would personally find entertaining. So, coming up at Slammiversary is Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett. This match is being billed as the final battle. Kurt Angle has put his Olympic gold medal on the line in the match, and the bout has also been made a #1 contenders match, so the winner will receive a shot at the world title. I fully expect Jeff Jarrett to win and to finally be done with Jeff Jarrett and move on. And at first I thought that the match was going to be some type of career match, but I guess they're not going to go in that direction. Nevertheless, I expect Jeff Jarrett to take some time off television for a while after that match and just be away. And while he and Karen are gone for a couple of months later, I would leave Jeff off TV, but I bring Karen back in a new role as a manager. A heel manager, obviously, because the crowd hates her and she gets more heat than 1,000 Suns in TNA. Jeff will not be around. He'll still be gone. They could say something like he wants to take time away, and Karen could say something like, I still have business to attend to. But the gist of it is, Karen is going to be a heel manager, and she's going to bring it with her upon her return a small stable of new fresh faces to TNA and some new heels. So what I'm going to talk about is Karen, the name of her stable, and some possible people that could be part of her stable. So the reason why Karen will make a great manager, she's a great talker, she's gorgeous to look at. There's a lot of people who have good talent that can't talk, and they need managers, and I think she could do it. She's a natural heel, she's a good actress. I mean, she gets great heat from the TNA crowds. They absolutely hate her. So anybody you put with Karen will be an instant heel. Now, a stable doesn't always need a name, but a lot of them do, like the First Family, Heenan Family, things of that nature. So Karen's stable and the wrestlers with her will be known as KJ Enterprises. KJ obviously stands for Karen Jarret. Alright, now let's talk about the group. I don't want the group to be too big. At most, probably no more than 5 people. And I want at least one to be a female wrestler, because I think even a female could benefit from having Karen as a manager. And there's some good female wrestlers out there that just that can't talk and don't really have that great charisma. So 2 women I thought of that I could bring into TNA to be managed by Karen. The first, Isis the Amazon. Now, I've mentioned in another edition of this video, after Immortal number 5, I believe the episode it was, the Queen, the Servant, Cowgirl, and the Amazon, a storyline for Isis. But this is just something a little alternate. And I know a lot of people like to want to hate on her and say that she's not that great in the ring, or say she's green. But I gotta say, to the people who say she's not a great wrestler, I say, who the fuck cares? She's 6'10", man. She's 6'10". When you're 6'10", you don't really need much wrestling ability. Alright? How great of an in-ring of a wrestler was Andre the Giant? How great of a wrestler was Kevin Nash? How great is Big Show? How great was Psycho Sid? And they got over and made a bunch of money in this business. So, screw that. You got a 6'9" woman that looks the way this woman looks. She don't need a lot of wrestling ability. You plant her in the middle of the ring and you let people bounce off her. Have her beat up all the little women. Give her the standard big man moveset. Clothesline, big boot, choke slam, power bomb, some basic punches and kicks, and she's good to go. That's all you need. I remember watching a Dutch Mantel shoot review. The guest booker was talking about how much he would have loved to have brought her in and build her up to have her do a big match of her against Awesome Kong, and I'm thinking that would have been awesome. That would have been I would have loved to see that match. But, Awesome Kong's WWE now, so that's not going to happen. So anyway, I'm bringing her into the Knockouts division to be her monster heel. To have her there as this beast. She don't got to talk. When you a big evil monster, you not supposed to talk. And Karen will do her talking for her. And Karen will do a good job because Karen always does a good job on the mic. It's just something she's natural at. Karen's a natural talker. And she's good at getting heat. It's just, she'll get all the heat you need. She'll cut the promos and Isis will beat women up. You bring Isis in, you give her a few squash matches, you let her destroy a couple women in like 30 seconds flat. You build up to her first actual program with a knockout, maybe have her beat Tara's ass or Teschmacher or something like that. Eventually you move on to Velvet Sky. You let her run Rush Shot on jobbers. You do a couple of actual programs with some of the main women on the main roster, which, needs to get bigger. I'm going to have to do another one of these videos about the Knockouts division later. You build her up to a big-time match, maybe with Mickie James down the line. I talked about that in the other video, but she's someone I would definitely want to put with Karen. Now, I've also heard rumors that Isis kind of has a bad attitude backstage, and some people rubbed her the wrong way. But I've also heard other women in TNA say that those rumors weren't true. So, I mean, if the woman has a bad attitude and she's getting on and she's pissing people off, then yeah, you can't bring her in. But if she's got a good attitude, she doesn't need wrestling ability. She's 6'10". That's all you need. When you're 6'10", you don't really need much else. Someone else. I don't know if he's sticking around much longer since he got kicked out of Immortal, but Murphy. If Murphy's gonna stick around, he really doesn't have anything to do. I don't know if he's getting released or, since he lost that match to Rob Terry where he got kicked out of Immortal, no one's seen Murphy since, and I don't know if there's much you can really do with Murphy going forth. They seem to be going more solo with Gunner recently, and looks like he might do some kind of program with Eric Young now after what happened on Impact this week. And that kind of leaves Murphy out in the cold. If Gunner's gonna go solo, then Murphy doesn't have a tag team partner, and I can't think of anybody to put with Murphy if he's gonna tag wrestle. Now, if they took the TV belt off Gunner just for Gunner and Murphy to get back together as a tag team, that's cool. The tag team division has been depleted, and they can do tag team stuff more. And I did a whole video on re-gimmicking them. You can check that video out if you go back through my videos. But if Murphy's hanging around, I hadn't seen much of Murphy in the ring, but I hear he's decent in the ring. I don't know how much speaking ability he has, but if he doesn't, again, Karen will get all the heat for him. Another team that I like, two young guys that I've been watching for past several months on NWA Hollywood, is a team of Natural Selection, Sean Ricker and Brian Cage. Now, actually, currently in NWA, they're basically being managed by Percy Pringle III, aka Paul Bearer. But But Paul Bearer just recently signed a new Legends deal with WWE, so you can't really bring him into TNA. But these two dudes, they're natural heels. They got the pretty boy prick look down packed. Just watch so many NWA Hollywood video episodes and check them out. They play the pretty boy prick heel roles very, very well, and I think they could do some good stuff with Karen. Last person I was thinking about, another woman, just because of the number. This one's kind of more me, just personal entertainment, because I just know how many people would be totally pissed off to see this, but just because the people who love this woman hate Karen Jarret, and I just know it'll piss them all off so much, and plus I wouldn't mind seeing her get a shot in TNA anyway, and that would be Sarah Del Rey. Sarah Del Rey, managed by Karen Jarret, and I would bring her in automatically and get ready to go for a feud against Mickie James if Mickie's still the champion. And you know how you would bring her in is that for several weeks after Mickie James wins matches and Karen Jarret comes out telling her that she has a client that's going to destroy Mickie James, that Mickie James better get ready because her client, her new acquisition that she's bringing to TNA is the most destructive female wrestler you will ever see, and she is going to come into the knockouts division. She is going to destroy everything in front of you, and she's going to take that title. So Karen Jarret is putting you on notice. You are on borrowed time. Your days as champion have officially been numbered, because my client is going to plow through the ranks, and then she's going to take that title from you and snap her fingers and go just like that. And you do this for like 3-4 weeks worth, and you got to really work hard to keep it under wraps so it doesn't get out, so people's wondering who it might be. And you give a lot of other women during this time, what you would do is you have tryout matches. This is just to keep the people on the internet from figuring out. I wouldn't give Sarah Del Rey a tryout match, because she's good. You know Sarah Del Rey's a good worker. She doesn't really need one. But I give a lot of other women tryout matches, dark matches, and have some of them come to the ring, have Karen bring some of them to the ring, just to keep the internet speculated, thinking, oh, it's going to be one of these other women that Karen's been with during the dark matches or at house shows and stuff, and you never hint that it's Sarah Del Rey at all. So then when Sarah finally comes out, it's a big surprise. And Sarah, she kicks ass, and you eventually build up to Sarah Del Rey and Mickie James. That's just another possibility. Check my time real quick. I'm at 12 minutes 29 seconds. Alright, I think I can keep this video short. Again, Karen Jarret has great talent. I think she would be an awesome manager. I think that she could help any number of new talents get over as heels instantly. Just being with her gets you it's the same thing that people have said about Michael Cole and Vicky Guerrero, that if you with Vicky Guerrero, you don't need heat. She'll get it for you. Although Vicky has cooled off. She hasn't been on TV as much the past month, so she has cooled off a bit. You really got to get her back on TV and get her back out there saying excuse me, because I haven't heard excuse me in like a month. And that's kind of odd. Michael Cole out there, he got so much heat that I was saying that he should be a manager, because anybody you put with him, he'll get all the heat you need for that wrestler. And Karen can do the same thing in TNA. She's married to Jeff Jarrett, so she's not gonna ditch the company. She'll be there for the long run. The schedule's good for her, so she could just come take for 2 days, be back home with the family. That's always a possibility, And I heard they bring the kids to Florida with them a lot of times when they come to film, but Jeff Jarrett's got family in Tennessee. They're in Nashville where they stay with, so that's the other thing. It's not a problem. The schedule's easy on her. And if and all this time Jeff's not gonna be on TV at all anyway, so you don't have to worry about that at all. This is just gonna be Karen doing something just as Karen by herself, her flying solo, because she's never really flown solo. She's always either had Kurt or Jeff with her. I like to see what she can do on her own as the main centerpiece, the mouthpiece, the voice for someone else. And it's an excuse to bring in some young talent and instantly get them over, Instantly get them over. If you want to get them over his heels, stick them with Karen. But keep the group small. Like I was saying, maybe 4 to 5 people. At least one of them should be a woman. Probably do like maybe 2 girls, 3 guys would be the group setting. Because you got 2 girls, so you can go for the singles knockouts title or the tag team knockouts titles. I mean, Sarah Del Rey and Ice of the Amazon, that could be a pretty decent team. Sarah's the technical wrestler, and Isis is the powerhouse. You know, how many other tag teams in TNA really do you think could stand up to those two together? Anyway, let me go ahead and end here because I'm starting to babble. Feedback is always appreciated. Tell me what you think of the idea of Karen continuing on down the line as a manager without Jeff. If you like that idea, who would you want to see come in as TNA as a new heel to be managed by Karen, male or female? Because I think she could do both very well. All right, this has been After Immortal episode 9, KJ Enterprises. This is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.